already initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe. I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it. Everything is vibration. I've been calling you about your kids and guys. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience. Why you don't give a damn about the things I do? Just vibe, baby. I'm so sick of the ways so I take a look at my face, hoping you will still be hiding. Cause I will be here waiting. Yeah. It's hump day. And I'm here to keep it jumping for you. We're gonna take just a few minutes to let a few people trickle in. And then we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. Now today, I'm gonna touch on the transits and elaborate on the aspects that might be affecting you. But then after that, I'm gonna open the floor for any questions that you may have. So just cool it. This is a vibe. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in the front door. And in doing so, understand, this is not about ego. Nah, this is our algorithm. What's up, man? It's a beautiful day. The vibe is the most important part. Because once the vibe is in place, everything else falls right where it should. And this is a Virgo moon vibe. So this is purely educational, informational. Yeah. What's up, Himalayan trails? I'm blessed. Welcome to the function. What's up, Barry? We're going to take just a few minutes to let the vibe seep in. And then after that, I'm going to get into astrology and numerology or anything else that helps you raise that vibration. So, if you haven't smiled yet today, now would be the perfect time to do so. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, please allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking vibe. What's up, Mushroom Merchant? What's up, Branson? What's up, Monk's Gobbler? To Hardy. We in this thing. This is a vibe in itself. This right here is a brand called HuMp. I prefer hemp wraps. This is a Virgo moon vibe. This is about healing. Straight like that. This is priceless knowledge of self. That shit right there is so healing it'll leave you with it. I'm here to give you an energetic forecast. What's up, Eric Marsh? Now. That's the vibe. For those of y'all that are not initiated, I would like to welcome you to the Vibe Tribe. We're here to raise the vibration with this knowledge and information. We're going to talk about astrology and numerology and spirituality and metaphysical things. If you're not into that, swipe up. If you come in on some troll shit, or some hate shit, or some fuck shit, you're going to be banned immediately. I'm talking about exiled expeditiously. And it's not out of hate. It's out of love. That's what you got to understand. That means this ain't for you. That's why we let the vibe come first. We need to be on the right vibration. You need to be able to feel this so you can hear me. So just let it seep in. Knowledge of self is powerful. It be all right. Just believe in me. I'm trying to tune you into your own personal power. And for anybody that has any questions, just wait until I'm done touching on the transits, because I'm going to open the floor up for any questions that you might have about astrology or numerology or anything else that helps you raise that vibration. Even compatibility, synastry, intimacy, infidelity, insecurity. Yeah. Just vibe. tempted to, Kevon Lewis. I'm tempted to. You say, I lost my mom on 39th Street to hepatitis C. Susan Turner liked the speed, but Roger T, I like the weed. Rightfully, I moved with my daddy over mama's dead body. Jesse Lee is a crack fiend in his habit, hardly fed Roddy. Dead bodies and empty stomach, still I jumped in the game. 7 years later, no paper, I'm still bleeding my pen with fame. Nothing changed, no shame, I'm plagued by my wrong decisions. I'm acting on my feelings, several failures, several missions. I try to listen to the wine-nosed uncles and friends, father. But when, father, you notice your second son been bothered. It been harder, but then again, without you, my skin harder like Vince Carter. Cause in my sister's life, I was a starter for 20 years. 20 million. The internet is tripping today, man. The freestyle is immaculate, dog. Just vibe. Get that hate out your heart before we even start. This is a vibe. This is priceless knowledge of self. Do you know what knowledge of self is? It's about understanding who you are and how you work. Yeah. Just vibe. I don't know who J Dilla is. I'll have to look into it. What's up, Villanita? My baby. What's up, Austin V? I'm doing excellent. Who I got? Tank or Frank? Despar, I got Tank, nigga. I got Tank. Shit. Now, Frank might do something, but I got Tank. Frank not experienced enough. Tank is smart. And Frank is trying to go off something that happened in training with him. Tank finna knock. Boy, he finna knock that nigga out like... But we'll see. We will definitely see. I think it's a wrap for Tank. I mean for Frank, but we'll see. What's up, Cherie? I have to check out J Dilla. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. I know you know, because you make an amazing beats yourself. What's up, Kid Lab One? Y'all ready to talk about what's going on cosmically? Because there's a lot. What y'all know about astrology? What y'all know about astrology? That's the question.
None of that would last too long, I fear.
Because we got the sun in Gemini right now. Matter of fact, the sun is at 22 degrees of Gemini. So let me tell you about the sun being in Gemini in general. See, this is a very lively time. This is where everything is interesting. This is where curiosity is at its peak. Do you hear me? This is where communication is key. This is where learning is everything. This is where the subject list is unlimited. This is where the world is filled with wonder. Or you can find yourself wandering. Do you hear me? Now, the sun just so happens to be conjunct to both Mercury and Venus, square to Saturn, and sextile to Chiron. And I'm going to let you know right off the rip, when you're looking at astrology, the aspects that the sun make are going to be the most prominent. And so what I mean by is those are going to have the most significance. Now, the most significant in any type of chart can have an ascending point. That just tells you what sign is on the horizon at the moment that whatever that chart is signifying came into existence, whether it be an event or an individual. And so, end up seeing from that is the moon sign is the most important placement at any point in any chart, whether it's a person or an event, because that kind of sets the tone. It tells you what's really going on energetically from the inside out. The sun shines light on it. The ascending point determines where it plays out. Now, you see how I put you up on game real quick? The sun sign is just the title. Like, it's Gemini season. That's the title. There's energy that's involved there, but it's the label. It's the label you're putting on the whole package. The moon sign is more like the product. Now, there's other placements that determine the quality and the style and the expression and the fortune of that product, whether it be an event or an individual. Now, the ascending point or the ascendant sign or the rising sign in any chart, whether it be an event or an individual, is where it's going to play out. So that's where you're selling it at, if you want to put it from a marketing standpoint. Now, when it comes to the anatomy of a chart, a Western or tropical astrology chart, just like a globe, you're going to divide that into hemispheres. The upper and lower hemisphere, the left and right hemisphere. The upper hemisphere of a chart, or the top part of the chart, is going to be the more outer and extroverted part of the chart. The bottom part is the more hidden or introverted part of the chart. The left part of the chart is the more active energy. The right part of the chart is the more reactive energy. You hear me? Now, Cherie, I don't make all of the beats that we listen to, but I made this motherfucker. This is my pride and joy. This is the greatest creative accomplishment that I've ever put together other than these videos here on this channel. I don't know what put me in the zone where I could make this 5 years ago when I made this, but like, this was everything. This is called The Darkness. It's so cold that I could never even rap to it. This is the only beat that I've ever produced myself or bought from somebody else that I've never rapped to. I just can't. I can in my head, but saying the words out loud, it takes away the intimacy that I have with this. But yeah, I love this. I was in a zone. I was in my addiction, wanting to leave my addiction. I was on drugs, and it was when I was about to move, and I had just caught a dope case with the police, and like, I just had so much going on, and I was hiding in my back room of my house doing drugs. And I just fucking made this. I just fucking made this. It's got that lo-fi vibe to it, so it's really hard. But I've had somebody offer me $5,000 for this beat, and I'll never sell it. Now, that's just the place of mind I was in. Now, with the Sun square to Saturn, here's the thing with this. This is where you get anxiety. Because it's Gemini and Pisces. So with the Sun in Gemini square to Saturn in Pisces, you get anxiety. You start to overthink situations. You get overstimulated from all of the outside input because you're aware of everything. You feel it and you're aware of it. See, Gemini is incredibly aware of its surroundings. It's one of the gifts of Gemini energy. But Pisces energy sucks it all in. It takes it all in. So there is no separation between them. And thus is the issue with that. You feel me? That's where you start to see that come into an issue. So that's where anxiety kind of kicks in. And there's just a greater awareness of certain issues. There's an awareness of things that brings on racing thoughts. And there's no boundary between your emotions and your thoughts. And so you have to find some type of way to chill the fuck out. Now, the Sun is sextile to Chiron. And this is an exact sextile. And this is, so really Chiron is Kazemi, what you could say. And Kazemi means in the heart of the sun, which basically, or the heart of the king really, is the terminology, in the heart of the king, but we translate it into in the heart of the sun. And what that basically means is there's an astrological body that is within 1 degree or less than 1 degree proximity conjunction with the sun. So it becomes emblazoned. So here's the thing, people move sloppily right now. It's 22 degrees of Gemini. People, there's situations where people move sloppily, they speak sloppily, they're saying stuff, but this is creating an effect. It can create an action or a conflict, or it can force something to come into an awareness that ultimately it allows you a place to grow from. Minius, I do Vedic astrology also. Don't get me twisted, bro. I also fuck with Vedic astrology. But I'm not a Vedic astrologer. I incorporate the nakshatras into everything that I do. Like the sun is about to come into Punarvasu nakshatra. Punarvasu is ruled by the goddess Aditi. Aditi is like the mother of all. It's source. And so you start to see things get reset right now. Things getting put back into place the way that they should be. Follow me. You fucking with one of them ones right here, fam. Now, anyway, the sun is sextile to Chiron, so that shit right there ends up forcing some mistakes. If you want to look at what nakshatra Chiron is in Ashwini. Ashwini is a racehorse. So when you have Gemini and the sun there coming into a sextile with that Chiron and Ashwini, this is where things are moving and progressing very quickly. With Gemini, there are things are spreading very quickly. And so you have to really be careful what you're spreading or what you're investing your energy into, because ultimately that ends up causing some issues. Straight like that. But all of it is just to lead towards growth and healing and shit like that. What you do with it is what you do with it. Now, I would say that looking at your Vedic chart, and some people don't know their Vedic placements, they're just aware of their sidereal placements. Now, you use your sidereal placements in Vedic, but Vedic is a whole different realm of understanding. There's layer upon layer upon layer of infinitely rich textures with Vedic astrology. But that's just using your sidereal placement. You can use sidereal without doing Vedic, but you use your sidereal placements when doing Vedic. And so you look how that goes with that. Now, I definitely see mine in both aspects. I really can't, I think my sidereal or my Vedic placements, because of the nakshatras, gives me a different realm of understanding of that energy because it makes it more specific. But I also really identify with the Western interpretation of where my tropical placements are. Like I'm definitely with my moon, I'm definitely feeling like a Pisces moon, which is my Western or tropical moon. And we all know I'm a Pisces moon. You see what I do with music. You see how I am if you know me personally. For those of y'all that interact with me personally, you kind of see how that plays out. But and in Vedic or sidereal, I get an Aquarius moon, but I also feel that. But I specifically feel having my moon in Shadabhishat Nakshatra. See, that's something else. You dig? My moon being in Shadabhishat Nakshatra is me exactly. My sun being in Cancer is something that I could see and I feel with it being, that's where my Western placement is, but I also could see it in a way being in Gemini. But more than anything else, I reflect with my sun being in Ardra Nakshatra, specifically Pada 1. My Venus being in Leo is something that I definitely exhibit in my personality. But my Venus being in Ashlesha Nakshatra is what I have experienced in my relationships. See, the Vedic adds a whole different understanding of what Venus is doing. Because Venus is my chart ruler in Western astrology, and I'm a Libra rising, and I'm a Venus in Leo in the 10th house, everybody can see that. I'm very cocky, I'm very conceited, and I can see that in my own personality. But as far as my Venus being in Ashlesha Nakshatra, that's what I see in my relationships personally. Ashlesha is ruled by the Nalgas, creatures of the underworld, serpent-like creatures of the underworld. And they can hypnotize you with they're the reptilians basically, but they hypnotize you with their gaze and squeeze you. In some instances, they squeeze the life out of you. In other instances, they bestow you with supernatural knowledge. And so I can definitely see where I've had dangerous relationships with that seemed like they were squeezing the life out of me. I can definitely see where I'm attracted to a certain type of woman that is strong but dangerous. You hear me? I can also see where I have Venus in Leo, though, also. I identify with my Mercury being in Leo at 0 degrees as far as the way that I act and the way I can, like, anybody that deals with me, the people here on the channel that have any understanding of astrology can say, yeah, he has Mercury in Leo, especially the 10th house, 0 degrees. So I have a very specific Mercury placement, a critical Mercury placement that people see in the way that I speak and the way that I convey myself. But I also identify with my Mercury being in Pushya Nakshatra, because Pushya Nakshatra is representative of a cow's udder, and so it's nourishing, it's teaching. But I also feel like Pushya is translated called the best, and it is priceless knowledge of self. The people that are here stay here because of that right there. My voice specifically is something that people really respond to. And so when I see that play out, I've seen that play out literally in my life. And so that's all gravy. But I see how you know how it comes out in both aspects. Now, back to what's going on with the transits. That brings us to the moon. And the moon is now at 6 degrees of Virgo. And when the moon gets in Virgo, people get analytical, critical, and technical. You hear me? It's not so emotionally expressive, even though the feelings are there. But, and to be honest with you, people are more sensitive. They're just not emotionally expressive. And there's this tendency to want to intellectualize everything or fix something. You feel like there's something that needs to be fixed, something that you need to work on. And there's a certain sensitivity that makes people a little bit more irritable than usual. And, you know, funny as it is, there is a mind connection. So that's why so many people have stomach issues when the moon is in Virgo. Even if they don't have Virgo placements. It's like, damn, I've been shitting all day. My stomach been hurt. It's the mind-gut connection. And you see how that hits you, and you start to overthink situations. You get nervous, you get anxious, and it starts to fuck with you, and then you gotta shit. I was watching. Now it was different because this was when the moon was in Leo, but that just made me think of me watching Kevin Hart and Drewski and Kai Cenat. And Drewski drank all them fucking energy drinks and had the shit. That's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen was them three getting together, man. Like they had a genuine chemistry, and they all have Sagittarius energy. Kai Cenat is a Sagittarius sun, Capricorn moon. Drewski is a Virgo sun, Sagittarius moon. Kevin Hart is a Cancer sun, Sagittarius moon. Drewski has Sagittarius rising also. And so them motherfuckers really showed their ass, man. That shit was crazy, bro. It was too much Sagittarius energy in one place. It was at one point where Kevin Hart was dancing in front of the camera. He's dancing in front of the camera. And motherfucking Drewski and Kai Cenat is literally fighting. They got into a whole fist fight in the background, or the wrestling fight. Like for real. Like it's points where he kicked it, where Kai was ready to kick. And it's crazy because Kai is a Capricorn moon. He's a Sagittarius sun, but he has that Capricorn moon. And he was literally the most mature person there. Even though he's the youngest person there. He's more mature than Kevin. He was more mature than fucking Drewski. And so that shit was crazy, man. Like they really had a good time. Like they had a genuine good time. And like that, I love it for them. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, they went crazy, man. That shit was crazy. I haven't experienced very much that was funnier than that, ever. Because it was genuine. It was legit. Now, the moon is square to Jupiter for the next hour or two. And once again, that's overthinking. When you see the moon, anything square to Jupiter is overindulgence, and whatever it is. With Venus, it's pleasures. with the moon, it's feelings, and in this case, it's too many mind. It's too many mind. And I saw that on the karate movie. The dude couldn't speak English, and he was trying to. The other dude was trying to pick up, and he was thinking too hard. He was trying too hard, and the kung fu guy told him too many mind. Too many mind. And that basically means you're thinking too much. It's too much. Like, you got too much going on here. Stop thinking and start doing. Expression, like Bruce Lee said, be water. And that's the problem with the moon square to Jupiter. Is too much mind, thinking too much. You're overthinking situations. You're overstimulated. And that could play out in a multitude of ways, because you do have the sun at 22 degrees of Gemini. You do have a sextile to Chiron, square to Saturn. So there is a certain anxiety, and there is a certain overstimulation that's playing from several different fronts here. And that's crazy. That's fucking crazy, man. Now, 7-0 strong, you worry about the wrong thing. That might have been your imagination. You goddamn right, Tigger. Hey, you better listen to my little brother. Now, that brings us to Mercury. And Mercury is at 19 degrees of Gemini. And so, look, when Mercury's in Gemini, this speeds up the mental processes, but it doesn't go deeper. It's where people feel like they have an urgency to skim across things, and they can pick up a lot from just a little bit, and they pick up a lot from their environment, and they make adjustments very quickly. And people's mind is just is really processing things very quickly. That doesn't mean efficiently, but very quickly. People are more expressive than ever. People are way more expressive than ever. Now, the crazy thing is Mercury square to Saturn. So once again, there's some anxiety. You know, your mind feels resistance in expressing new thoughts. It's like your imagination is all over the place, and it's real easy to get caught up in several different things at once. It's real easy to think you need to switch something up when you didn't need to. You could end up killing the goose that lays the golden egg. Whatever happens, you might need to just leave well enough alone right now. Skinny Mini OG, what's up, baby? Long time no see. I appreciate the love, Jessica. But yeah, this is where you just see things really get a little more frustrated than they have to be. And it's because you're getting caught spread too thin mentally. And you, like I said, you see it play out on several different fronts here. But specifically with this right here, it's just like you're going in circles. And this is a great time where people can mimic other stuff, and people can at times see their sense of humor really be the savior in this situation. But ultimately, you got to be able to cut through the bullshit. And there's a lot of bullshit going on up here. Specifically, like I said, overstimulation. That's what you see with Pisces and Gemini. Now, that brings us to Venus. Because Venus is also in Gemini. Now, with Venus in Gemini, people are more vivacious and flirtatious and mischievous. People really get turned on by other people's mindset. As a matter of fact, I read on one of those astrology apps earlier that when Venus is in Gemini, the brain becomes the largest erogenous zone. Yeah. People could get involved with other people purely for the information that it could present for them. People could get turned on by a mindset of the way you say certain shit. People can find themselves interested in different things than they're normally interested in, and thus turned on by such. You could also see some cheating going on. But even more than physical cheating is flirtation. It's entertaining somebody else. So be careful, because it's all fun and games until it ain't. It's all fun and games till it ain't. And Venus is sextile to Chiron, and that's interesting because this is Venus at 24 degrees of Gemini, sextile to Chiron at 22 degrees of Aries. So there might be some cheating and some shit that happens right now that you feel like, damn, this person or even yourself acted out of character. But it's not. Here's the thing that I know you've heard before. The thing is, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. If a motherfucker shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. And with this specifically, if somebody starts acting up, if you yourself are acting up, this is who you really are. This is what you need to work on. And that doesn't mean you have to stay that. Just because you're built like that, it doesn't mean you have to build like that. So you don't have to stay in a specific mindset or a specific set of way of doing things. Change things up. But this is awareness also where you see, hey, maybe my relationship isn't the fairy tale that I thought it was. Maybe I'm not as mature as I thought I was. And that means I have some growing I need to do. There's an awareness that comes with this, with Chiron. And this is where people make mistakes. This is where people fuck up. But then you need to assess, did I really need to even be in this situation in the first place? That's some trill shit. Ebony, it's good to see you here. I'm glad I didn't run you off last time. They like shadow banned me for that or something, which is crazy. They blocked that video in every country in the world. For whatever I was talking about, that video, seriously, it's there still, but it's blocked. They banned me. Now, I ain't gonna be dealing with no with no bullshit. You know you love me. Let's talk about Mars. And Mars is square to Pluto. And I'm gonna tell you how I see this energetically. Then I'm gonna tell you how it plays by the book. Energetically, there's some crazy shit going on that's gonna force you out of your comfort zone. Plain and simple. Mars is in Taurus. People want to take it slow, move purposefully. They want to play it safe. But the intense environment of Pluto in Aquarius is not gonna allow for that. It's not gonna allow for that. The way that the world is right now is not gonna allow for that. You can't be chill and play it safe. I mean, you just can't. That's what the fuck is going down right now. The world is not that type of place. Period. The world is not that type of place. Fuck you mean? Minius, I don't tell my prices, but if you want to ask me about a reading, send me an email at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. That's MR.TURNER1300@gmail.com. Because as you see, I'm on point like an index finger, baby. Now back to what I was saying. With Mars square to Pluto, and Mars being in Taurus and Pluto being in Aquarius, the world is changing rapidly. It's a crazy place. It's fucking radical. And it's hard for you to stay safe and move comfortably. And it's hard for you to be patient. It's just hard for that. So that creates a dangerous environment. Mars square Pluto is a dangerous aspect right there. It's so fucking dangerous that you can look. You look just a few days ago, or last week, a week and a half ago, like 10 days ago, Russia, for the first time in history, officially declared the United States as an enemy because Joe Biden approved for them to start using American weapons in the war between the Ukraine and Russia. And that's relevant for the fact that now Russia has sent nuclearly armed submarines and missile-laden battleships to Cuba, with the United States thus sending their own warships to shadow them. So there's a conflict building there. And there's probably nothing that's going to happen, but it's just enough to make you uncomfortable. It's just enough for it to be dangerous. It's just enough for it to be dangerous. And that right there makes people uneasy. They start to say, no, man. I don't fucking know. And then when things like this happen, it breeds this type of energy to where people are like, man, this shit wouldn't happen if so-and-so was in office. And this wouldn't happen if... And then, so it breeds this discontent that is also dangerous. It's also dangerous. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. We on some real shit here. Now, what can you do? I mean, you have to find some type of way to work with it. Or unless you let it get the best of you and you make it even worse. I read somewhere that when Mars is square to Pluto, people's desire nature becomes, it manifests more fully and thus becomes known. And it's funny that you want to relate that to this situation between Russia and the United States because, yeah, Russia's in this war with the Ukraine, but as soon as there was any type of conflict, it showed people's true intentions. What Russia really wants is this type of conflict. Because things are going so bad in the way that they're approaching the war over there that they feel like their only major advantage would be something becoming nuclear. You feel me? If the United States really didn't care about what was going on in Russia, it wouldn't approve for their weapons to be used. So that's where the United States' desire nature becomes more fully because they want to do whatever they can to tackle that regime over there. So that's where, oh, you are an enemy of ours. We've never considered you an ally, but we didn't never consider you a direct enemy. There's tension, but now I know you are against me. You are my enemy. So let me show you what my intentions are. My intentions are to kick some shit off for real because this is all I wanted to know. All I wanted to know was if you were my enemy. Now that I know you are my enemy, I can bust your motherfucking shit up. Do you hear me? You see this play out in other situations in life. You know? In your own home life. The way somebody treats you, the way something manifests, the way a situation starts to play out. You can see that there's a potential for anger or violence that comes from people realizing, damn, this is what it is. This is what the fuck it is.
Splash the God made another one.
So you start to see how that goes out. It's a trip. Now, hit the fucking like button if you haven't yet. That brings us to Jupiter. And Jupiter's on my ass today. Because Jupiter is now at 4 degrees of Gemini. And so, with Jupiter and Gemini, remember that Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius is on a polar axis with Gemini, so that means Sagittarius is the opposite of Gemini. You feel me? Sagittarius is the opposite of Gemini. And so that means Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini. That means this is not the best placement for Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is blessings. Jupiter is abundance. Jupiter is philosophy. Jupiter is wisdom. It's luck. But Jupiter also knows no boundaries. Gemini has no structure. It's chaotic. And so with this, you can see where people are thinking more than ever, but that doesn't mean that they're thinking healthily or clearly. You see that people want to learn things, but people don't have the patience to really invest in a subject. They want to learn as much as they can as quickly as possible to move on to the next thing. People want to, you know, get a whole bunch of irons going in the fire. But like I've said over and over and over again, and I'm going to keep saying for the next year, when you get too many irons in the fire, your ass just might run out of fire. Do you hear me? That's the thing with Jupiter and Gemini. Jupiter gets stretched too thin because Jupiter doesn't know any boundaries, and Gemini doesn't know when to stop. So yeah, hold on. I seen somebody talking about me in the chat. That's what's up, Villanita. Damn, what the fuck just happened? Yes, I understand that's where the sidereal placements are. Sidereally, Jupiter is sitting somewhere around 9 or 10 degrees of Taurus. But yeah. Yes, it's in Kritika. No. It might be in Kritika. I'm trying to think. My son, yeah, it's in Kritika. It's in Kritika. But it could also be quickly about to be in Rohini. It's about to go. It's in Pada 4 of Kritika, and it's about to go into Rohini. Yes. You know, I'm on point, my nigga. I'm on point. But yeah, it's in Kritika, but it's about to move into Rohini. No, I haven't yet. Have I ever looked at the palm readings? No, I haven't. I've had my palm read, Valerie. I'm so glad to see you here too. I see I haven't ran you off talking shit either. I've been going too hard with the political shit. Like what I say makes a difference in the first place. And then also, for those of y'all that didn't get around to see it, I also, right in the middle of all of it, realized that that is also a projection. That's me projecting what I believe onto you. And that's not fair. You need to be able to make a determination for yourself, and that's your business, and that is your prerogative. So I know when I get really opinionated about those political things, and I get like that, I tend also to be projected and get into that Mercury and Leo mode where I'm like, what I say, what I believe is right, and it doesn't matter. So yeah. We in the thing. And it's all, it's all love regardless. Even if you is a coon ass, Uncle Tom ass, Trump supporting motherfucking punk motherfucker. So you see that. Take it how you want to take it. Now, you had your toes red. I don't know about that. I'm a Pisces moon, so you know what I'm saying? We don't want to get too deep into that. But yeah, Jupiter is at 4 degrees Gemini, man. And Jupiter, I mean, this makes people curious. It makes people more communicative. It makes people interested in a whole bunch of different stuff, but they're so interested in everything that they get involved in too many things at once, and it's really hard for them to get a understanding of anything. You know that old saying, the jack of all trades, but the master of none? This is kind of where this energy kind of comes into play at. And it also is where, like, damn, people get so stretched so thin that they can't keep up. Now, Jupiter is trying to Pluto. And as I've told y'all over and over and over again, since Jupiter has come into this trine with Pluto, there's a thing here where there's conversations and thought processes that are starting off now that are going to really help us in the future. You know, it really, or at the least, it's going to kick things off right now. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening, a variety of situations that are coming into play right now that are really, really affecting things. But yeah, and I hate Biden. That's the point. I do not want Joe Biden to be president. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but Donald Trump should not be allowed to be even running for president. I'm not blue or red. I think a Republican should be in office, but Donald Trump is not even a real Republican. He's just running for the Republican Party because he's the one that can win the nomination. You hear me? I want a Republican in office, but Donald Trump should not be allowed to run. And there's not a lesser of two evils. There's not. Let me help you out, Roger Deakins, because Deakins is too close to dick suckers. You don't even need to be here. Get your dick sucking ass out of here. Now, that's how I play. Block your funky ass for fun. Yeah, find somebody else to play with. I'm trying to help your monkey ass out. You come on with the disrespect. You hear me? Now, yeah, Jupiter's trying to Pluto, so there is a certain, but Pluto is retrograde. So now it's like there's certain policies that are being put into place right now. You know, there's things that are starting to manifest in people's mindsets that are the seeds of change. You hear me? It's the seeds for change. Plain and simple. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter who's going to be president. We're going to war. In the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to be in a major conflict to where America will never be the same, if it exists at all. I know that's terrifying. And people say, oh, don't be fear-mongering. No, there's a fine line between fear-mongering and truth-telling. So you have to prepare yourself. You need to prepare your children. It's guaranteed that there's going to be a major war within the next 10 years, but probably in less than 5 years, maybe in less than 3 years. Just so we know. Just so we know. What's up, Jenny? Now, that brings us to Saturn. And Saturn is at 19 degrees of Pisces, but it's stationed right now. That means it's not moving very much, if at all. And really, it never stops, but it gets so slow that it's perceived as if it's going backwards in relation to the other planets. And that's what the retrograde motion is. But right now, it's stationed, so it seems like it's sitting at a standstill at 19 degrees here. And so wherever you have, I would say, between 14 degrees and 23 or 24 degrees of mutable signs or water signs or earth signs, or yeah, these are going to be affected the most. And so what happens here is fear, worry, anger, disillusion, confusion. This is where all that shit really comes into a person's consciousness, even more than ever. They start to worry. And then this also is where you start to realize, like, you got to do something with this. Like, there's something you have to do with it. Now, as it stations retrograde, what you kind of get is the ability to see what's going on and what you need to do about it. But where this is right here, just realizing that whatever's happening is just a part of life. You're not a fucking victim. How you feel is valid, but sometimes how you feel isn't even how you feel. You have to find out what's real. So you might be picking up something that comes from the mood of the moment or the terror of the times. You might be picking up something that somebody else has going on with Pisces. So you have to figure out what's yours to worry about and what isn't. And then once you get there, you have to figure out what's worth worrying about and what isn't. And you also have to understand what you yourself are manifesting in your life. And that's going to involve a certain reality check. And as I've told y'all over and over again, it's not karma in the sense that it's a consequence, because karma isn't consequence. Consequences can be a part of your karma. But karma in itself is not consequence. Karma is the process of life playing out. It's just the energetic evolution. In the Eastern philosophy, the gurus, when they say don't interfere with their karma, they're not saying don't keep them from receiving their consequences, because they're not always talking about something that's negative. They're saying don't get in the way, let it play out. Let it play out. And so what we have here is whatever's going on with people, they need to realize that it's just a part of the process that they themselves signed up for. Even the pain, that's a part of the reason that you came to this plane. And so you start to really be able to take a step back and get perspective on things. Like, you just have to mature. And in this case, this is Pisces energy. So it's a reality check, and it's emotional maturity. It's a fucking reality check. Hey, life is hard. Hey, people are fucked up. Hey, you've made mistakes. Hey, people get sick. Hey, people die. Hey, you have bills. Hey, you need to fucking realize that you're a fucking addict. There's a lot that goes on with this. And so the next step in your emotional evolution is confronting those parts of yourself, the things that you can't escape, the things that you can't ignore. Realizing that you ain't doing nothing but making things more complicated and complex in your life. And so it's not about what's going on, it's about how you deal with it. That's Saturn in Pisces. It's not about what's going on, it's about how you deal with it. You hear me? It's about how you deal with it. So you got to be real with it. Be real with yourself. Be real about the situation. But first, before you can even do that, you have to determine what your reality is. That's the thing. Life's not just happening to you, it's happening. There's always been heartbreak. There's always been love. And as long as there's love, there's going to be heartbreak. As long as we have biological bodies, there's going to be illness. There's going to be death. Yours too. As long as there is finances, there's going to be inflation. There's going to be bills. As long as that we have a system that is based on money, money's always going to be an issue for some. As long as there's drugs, there's going to be addiction, but the reality's still going to be there also. You feel me? As long as you aren't confronting your problems, those problems are always going to be there. And that's what people see more than anything else in this time, is the stuff that you've tried to ignore, the stuff you tried to avoid, the feelings that you've let fester. This is where you really have to confront those, and you really have to realize the stuff that you're causing in your own life. This is where you realize certain shit isn't even worth worrying about, and certain feelings aren't even real. You might be thinking you and somebody has an issue with each other when the only issue between y'all is the fact that you think y'all have an issue with each other, because there's no hostility. Nobody needs humility. It's just some shit that's there that ain't even real. You start to see that you let your stress and your worry get the best of you. I've seen it in my life. Last year and last May, I started having the digestive issues. I started thinking I was dying, obsessing that I was dying, obsessing about cancer, to where I was worried on here. I lost fucking a whole bunch of weight. I've gained it all back and some now, but I lost a whole bunch of weight to where you could see my motherfucking face bones in this bitch, where we was, worrying all the time. And I'm like, man, I'm talking to the people here in the ViBe tribe, and I'm asking them, hey man, you think this is gonna kill me? You think I got this? You think I got that? And what was making me sick was the worry. What causes the digestive issues is the worry. Like, that shit is crazy. It was the worry that caused that shit. And now I did it so much that I'm dealing with real wear and tear that the worrying put on my body. So I do have some minor physical issues, but it's because of the wear and tear that the worrying put on me. Like, this is what I did to myself. so I made things that more difficult tripping about shit. You make things that more difficult tripping about it. So you need to find your faith again. That's what Saturn in Pisces also is about, finding your faith again, regardless of it all, because you're just a part of the process. You yourself are a whole bunch of system made up of hundreds of processes. Think about it. The world we live in is a complex, systematic reality that we've created through a whole bunch of complicated processes. And all of it has to be exactly correct. See, they search for life on other planets, they think. But if that is real, they first need to realize that there might be some life in that is existing in processes that we don't understand scientifically, because we only understand our own biological process and the nature that our elements here on Earth work. And so you start to think that. And so everybody's situation is different. But that does allow you to have compassion for the next man, because people are going through it right now. I have a financial situation that popped up today. My son, he has to get a physical for football, and we're in a lapse in our insurance. And so with this lapse, I appreciate the donation, Jenny. And so while we're in this lapse with our insurance, my son all of a sudden has to have his football physical turned in by the end of this week. And he's 15 years old, so we can't get it at a discount. And he's had an injury, so we have to get an MRI with it. And so we have to pay out of pocket, and it has to be done. He's one of their best football players. And so I'm having to have a sale on my services. I'm having to try to drive money up so I can get my shit right for this. And so it just goes into a whole different thingamajiggy. A whole different thingamajiggy, man. And so the fact of the matter is we kind of knew about this, and we had insurance 2 months ago, but we put this off until we had a lapse in our insurance, and now it's something that we have to take care of. And it's something that is now I'm having to scramble for it, but it's something that could have been prevented. So you just see how this plays out in your life with Saturn and Pisces. You got to deal with your shit. It's not about what's going on. There's even always been war. There's always been discrimination. There's always been persecution. There's always been corruption. That's a part of the human process, unfortunately. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with life? That's big. Now, that next brings us to Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus is at 24 degrees of Taurus. So with this is the time of side hustles taking prominence. There's so many ways to make money that you can't help but have more than a couple motherfucking eggs in the basket, or more than a couple of fucking irons on the burner. Like that. I mean, that's the most intelligent thing you can do. You can merely do what you've been doing every other day on social media and turn your profile professional and get paid for it. All you got to do is ramp up your posting. And you can get paid for sharing other people's shit and stealing other people's pictures and whatever. You get paid for content and for interaction. You feed into this data farm that they're creating, and that allows them to pay you cash. Like this is Uranus and Taurus right here. You see so many ways that people even make money uniquely in metaphysical fields, and there's so many different openings that open up just in this field alone. There's so many different types of astrologers. There's so many different ways that people use astrology. There's so many people that sell crystals and sell jewelry. There's so many people that do readings of different kinds. Like I said, I have friends that do inner child readings and music divination readings, where they take your songs that you listen to and they go through it, and they really learn a lot about you and be able to tell you a lot about you through that. There's people who just do all kinds of amazing things, whether it's regular tarot or astrocartography or cartomancy, or I mean, there's so many ways that people go after you with this. And there's so many different ways to make money. There's so many different ways that you can take your car and put gas in it and go deliver things to people. There's so many ways you can turn your camera on and make money. So many ways. Whether you're dancing or cooking or fucking lip syncing other people's songs, or lip syncing other people's videos, doing reactions to people's videos. You don't even have to be creative at all. You can just show your personality, or you can just give reactions to other people's shit, and that means replaying their shit and get paid for doing reactions. There's ways that, you know, people are doing illicit content. There's people who have the promise of doing illicit content, but they're really not doing illicit content. You have streamers. I mean, you look at Kai Cenat, one of my favorite people. He literally gets paid because of his personality. Multi-millionaire. He's the most popular streamer in the whole world. A fucking multi-millionaire. Like, that shit is deep and real. Hold on. Yeah, it was only $20, Jenny. Translate. I know you're from Sweden, but yeah, that translated to $20. You put 200, whatever those are, kroner. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, it's $20. $20 American. I'm sorry to hear that, Brianna Shani. The world is fucked up. Now, Sini, Brianna Sini, or Shani. Brianna Sini. But yeah, I got you. That's part of life, though. Death is a part of life. But look, you just can't get comfortable, and you can't get stuck in a certain way of doing things, and you can't have a stubborn mindset, or you're going to be frustrated all the time with Uranus and Taurus. If you're fucking stubborn in the way that you've done things, and you think that's going to make you end up fucking taking a loss. Well, you should have sent me an email or send me a DM. I surely would have talked to you and helped you. I surely would. It's possible. yeah. Valhalla, I don't do music readings. A friend of mine named Mars Weidman does music divination readings. Let me I can actually ask her what she has her own Facebook page, and I know you're on Facebook, but she has her own professional page where you could probably contact her for her services. Let me ask her. Hold up. Let me ask her. Where you at, Mars? Facebook is really tripping today. Hold up. My bad, y'all. Anyway, you said, have I had one? No, I haven't had one. I don't. The type of music I listen to, you can't get it from that. And I'm private about the type of music I listen to. For sure. Now, Brianna Cini, you said Venus square Pluto means you want to get to say goodbye to your dad when he dies. Didn't get you with your rear runner, Georgia friend that died. That was your second dad. Yeah, that sucks. I definitely understand. No, squares don't always have to be bad, but they do represent a conflict, though. A conflict isn't always bad, but a square does represent a conflict. There's a conflict of interest between those two energies. There is a conflict there. Squares are not always bad, but it does mean a conflict or a confrontation. Straight up. Yeah, squares always mean a conflict, my boy. I sing and dance, yeah. But not like Prince. I sing and dance, though. I definitely do. Sometimes, when I'm having a really good day, I do. Or when the moon is in, really anytime there's music, and I only play music when the moon is in Pisces or I'm in the car, so. I shake a little dick. I don't shake no ass, but I do pop a little dick. You understand? I do throw a little dick in there. Gotta be careful. If I throw it too hard, my whole body will flip over from the weight of this motherfucker. Just yata. Start to knock shit over. Yeah, I do it. Might knock you down. Don't get me started. Don't get me started today. Look, Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces, or it's the co-ruler of Pisces. Traditionally, it's Jupiter. And the 29th degree is called the energetic degree. So this is the full load of that Pisces energy, which is too much because it's everything. It's the last degree of the whole zodiac. So it's everything all at once. Everything all at once. And so people are going to be imaginative. People are going to be delusional. People are going to be confused. People are going to be spreading misinformation. People are going to be projecting bullshit onto other people. People, you know, and real ain't even real. And yes, I'm an excellent swordsman. I'm an excellent swordsman.
You ain't gotta go through all that.
Let's hear go.
Does everyone need an audition to get with you?
You ain't gotta go through all that shit.
Then I choose you.
Yeah, I'm always chose.
Be cool, baby. Be cool, baby. Mr. Pretty Tony. I mean, you know the rules of the game. I mean, your bitch just chose you.
Yeah.
Now we can settle this like we got some class, so we can get into some gangster shit.
Bye.
Tree nigga.
Oh man, we vibe. But yeah, man, you got to be careful because we live in a confused culture. We're more connected, but we're more confused. You know, people let their imagination get the best of them. People entertain projections. What's real don't even matter. What's right don't even matter. What's trending is what's most important. What's popular. What's accepted by the population. Plain and simple. That takes precedence. That takes precedence over everything else. And so, man, you got to be careful what you entertain. You just need to tap into that. You need to tap into that. You have a main line to the divine that's inside of you. Trust that. Let your inner compass be your guide. It's okay to be creative and it's okay to be imaginative, but what's not cool is getting confused by your own delusions. People are gonna have some crazy ass dreams right now too, because Neptune's getting ready to station also. I think Neptune goes retrograde on like July 6th. Saturn goes retrograde on June 29th. And I think just a week later on July 6th, Neptune is gonna go retrograde. And so Neptune is also stationed. It's not moving anymore. So be careful what you entertain in. Now, that brings us to Pluto. Pluto's retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius, and Pluto's going to be retrograde until October 13th. And with Pluto retrograde sitting here at 1 degree of Aquarius, or if you're into sidereal or Vedic, that means it's at 26 degrees. No, it's not 26 degrees. It's at 7 degrees Capricorn. I don't know why I said 26, because there's the gap between there. But yeah, 7 degrees Capricorn. And this right here is just like where you see how much the structure of things have changed. The structure of the way that you look at things has changed. You see that the world has changed just that much. And people want it to get even more crazy. People are right now thinking, man, shit is so fucked up that we have to have it get more radical. The only approach that's going to work is to take the radical approach. And eventually we realize how powerful as a people we are. Because of technology, us as people are more powerful than ever. We can influence everything from the palm of our hands. That's the truth. We can influence everything from the palm of our hands. Us as a people are more powerful than ever because of social media, because of the way that we can connect with each other, the way that we can be incredibly destructive, but we are also way more powerful than we even realize right now. Now, this is also where things have gotten weird with AI already, and it's just fun stuff. It's just the little AIs. You see, there's an AI feature on every social media app. If you have an email, you can look in your email and you can see how there's a AI feature in your email. This is where you can look and see that right now it seems innocent, and it's just fun where you can ask questions and it answers questions and it takes you directly to the answers and it can say some funny shit. But this is where things get even more confusing because you don't know what's real and what isn't anymore. You don't know what the fuck is going on for real because people can say you said anything or say anybody said anything and can make a video of it with AI. They can create a video of a motherfucker saying or doing some shit and you just have to accept it because it's video. Before, video was concrete proof. If somebody seen you doing something on video, or if they had audio of you saying something, that was condemning. Now you actually have an avenue to say that wasn't me, that ain't me, that's fucking AI. I've been talking right here on the channel before and somebody has come and said, is this AI? Are you AI? And I've had to say, no, I'm not. But then you have to question, am I? It's a trip. It's a fucking trip. And then with the retrograde, it's like we realize how much things have changed and how crazy things already are. So that just opens up the possibility of how much crazier it can get. You realize, damn, this shit is just getting started. Damn, this shit is about to get even crazier. And you start to embrace that, which allows it to happen. That's what allows it to happen. What's July 5th? When Neptune goes retrograde? Was I 2 days off? My bad. It's like people expect shit to be fake. People expect everything to be rigged. If somebody wins a boxing fight or loses a boxing fight and it's not who they wanted, they immediately say it was rigged. If a motherfucker loses an election, it was rigged. If their team doesn't win a basketball game, it was rigged. If the motherfucking Dallas Cowboys lose, it was rigged. Like, that's how people's mindset are these days. Like, nah, that shit's rigged, bro. That shit ain't even real. And just questioning that makes it questionable. It makes it questionable. People are really radical right now, and people are going to come across as crazy for a little bit until we find some type of way to discipline it and make order out of it, or make sense of it at least. So yeah, this is some trill shit, cuz. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't yet. Now, that next brings us to Chiron. And Chiron is sitting at 22 degrees of Aries. So once again, once we see Chiron here, This is a forced awareness, whether it's through conflict or confrontation. It's where you're forced to become aware of a problem. But once you're aware of the problem, it allows you to look for a solution or take action against that problem. And that's not always a bad thing. So there's going to be situations that seem forced. There's going to stuff that develops really quickly. There's going to be some shit that comes out of nowhere, but you just got to address that shit. Chiron is the wounded healer. And so what you see is like, man, some shit goes down and it's like, man, now I have to look at this shit. Like, or now this is an issue. And I knew it was going to be an issue. Well, if you knew it was going to be an issue, you should have took care of it before it came to this point. But now you can't. So you have to deal with it how it is now. Awareness allows for accountability. That accountability allows for healing. What do I think about transit Chiron being trine your moon? I think this is a chance for you to confront some stuff inside of yourself and figure out why you feel the way that you do and why you act the way that you do so instinctively off of that. Or even if you want to look at it from a Vedic process, why you think that way and why you let your mind get the best of you. Either way it goes. But this is a fire trine, so it's your impulses. So you have to see why you react like that all the time. Is it your pride involved if it's Leo? Is it because this is what you believe is right because it's Sagittarius? And so you start to see with that, you see that, why do I think that's right? Why did my pride or why did my ego get triggered there? And so all of that allows you to realize that's why you react that way to situations, or this is why you are the way that you are. And then that allows you to work on it, or it allows you to be proud of it, or it allows you to at least be aware of it. And being aware is to be alive. To be aware is to be alive. Oh, Ebony, your birthday. My birthday before your birthday. My birthday before your birthday. My birthday, June 26th. It's exactly 2 weeks from today. So we're going to have something priceless to keep your hump day jumping in 2 weeks. But yeah, that's where we at with that. Who just started following me on Instagram? Ooh. But yeah. That brings us to the Black Moon Lilith, which is now at 28 degrees of Virgo. And the Black Moon Lilith is the shadow energy. In a person, it's their shadow part of themselves. In a situation, it's the shadow energy. So this right here is just like overanalyzation. It's over-criticism. It's sensitivity. It's overthinking. It's also the details being an issue, little bitty small stuff, or you know, the actual missing of certain details that making things more complicated than it has to be. You just see how it plays out for you personally is really what you would have to do. Now, Lord, she bad. And the North Node, tropically, sits at 13 degrees of Aries, which means the South Node is opposite to that. And so, first of all, with the South Node in Libra, people are overlooking and sugarcoating shit that they really need to be addressing straight on. You can also see where people are codependent. You can see where people are way too worried about what's going on with other people when they just need to be focusing on doing what they got to do for them. So See, the North Node in Aries right here is saying, hey, you got shit you need to confront in your life. You need to experience your truth as a verb. You need to do what's right for you, regardless of how anybody else feels about what you have going on or the influence that they're trying to place on your situation. You need to do what's right for you. And this is a part of a spiritual journey. This is where you need to be headed, is towards what's right for you, regardless of how it affects anybody else. And if it affects them adversely, then that might be their problem. If you're being honest and you're doing what's right for you, it shouldn't be hurting anybody else. Plain and simple. It shouldn't be hurting anybody else. That's what that was, cuz. Ooh. Now, that's the vibe. As far as numerology today, we're in an 8 vibration today. Now, you want to ask how we got to this 8? It's very simple. It's June 12th, 2024. So, the month is a 6. June is the 6th month. So, you take that 6, you drop it down. The 12th is a 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. You take that 3 and drop it down. Then 2024 is an 8. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. So that's 6 plus 3, which is 9, plus 8, which is 17. 1 plus 7 is 18. I mean, it's 18, 8. I said 1 plus 7 is 18, is 8. And so we are in the 8 vibration today, numerologically. And I was talking too fast. But being in that 8 vibration means today is a day of empowerment. And there's a 3 to that. So get creative. Enjoy yourself. Communicate with other people, but also feel empowered in your unique skill set. Yeah. But there's going to be some hate, too. When it's an 8, there's also going to be some hate. And, hey, if they hate, let them hate and just watch the money pile up. Because the 8 is also a money day. The 8 is also a money day. You feel me? And so it's beautiful for you. GD Wilson, shut your bitch ass up. Let me hide your old ass. Eat a bowl full of dicks. Now, I ain't really in the mood to be playing with a whole bunch of y'all. I'm on some shit today. I think that's all I gotta say about that. I'm gonna open the floor up for questions now. We'll be here for another hour and 20 minutes or so. So we can vibe, talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, but I'm also here to answer any questions that you might have about astrology or numerology or anything else that helps you raise that vibration, whether it be compatibility or synastry or insecurity or infidelity or intimacy. Yeah. Make sure you respect my energy. Yeah. What's my best tip for fire trine? Control yourself, but also be you unapologetically. And I mean, that's what's going to happen anyway with that fire trine. But be you unapologetically. But also in being you, you do have to, you know, learn when and where to assert yourself, and make sure you have some discipline. Cherie, you said you have a question. What does Pluto in the 12th house in Libra mean? First of all, no matter what sign it is, or really you do need balance. I would say you can just listen to this. With Pluto in Libra in the 12th house, you're truly capable of anything good or bad. Like, you're truly capable of anything good or bad, or you're capable of the greatest of goods or the most extremes of evil. And having this infinite expanse inside of you creates a vacuum. And that's why you have all of these crazy people that come into your life, and you experience this crazy stuff that nobody else experiences. And a lot of times, because you have that infinite expanse and that vacuum inside of you, you don't know how to feel or which way you should go. So you kind of look to somebody else to help you feel some type of way. But what you need is balance within self. And with that balance within self, that allows you the opportunity to know what you need to do objectively. But other than that, a lot of times you're looking for somebody else because of the Libra energy in there. You're looking for somebody else to take you one way or the other. And so what you have to do is develop a balance or an awareness of the balance inside of yourself that's needed, that allows you to really look for an objective thing that's good for you in each situation. Hold on. What's my best tip for a Virgo with Scorpio rising? Stop dissecting everything and stop and I mean, you ain't gonna listen, but try to develop some trust, because you don't trust anything. You pick everything apart and pick everybody apart, and you love intensely, but you hate just as hard. And I mean, stop picking everything apart. You'll be able to trust more when you stop looking for what's wrong with everything. Double A, you said, what zodiac sign expresses or embodies freedom the most, Sagittarius or Aquarius? They both in different ways. Sagittarius probably, because Sagittarius is fire. Aquarius is searching for freedom, and it wants freedom, and it is different, but Aquarius is worried about other people. Sagittarius is worried about freedom for self and truth, and you know, being unapologetic in that expression. So Sagittarius. Guys, Leo Venus conjunct your Mars. Hold on, about to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. Y'all give each other the appropriate amount of attention that y'all need. Y'all really, you know, you really are affectionate and playful and bold, and he likes that type of shit. And so you really do stroke his ego. You really do make him feel proud of being with you, and make him feel like that you know, you're the one for him. And it's sexy. Y'all have a lot of fun together. Minius, you say you have Saturn, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Rahu in the 10th house. What's my opinion on that, other than career focus? Reputation. You need to make sure you're building the right type of reputation if you want to be successful. So yeah. And there's a lot that influences us from a reputational standpoint. We have to remember that. Hold on, I gotta stand up real fast, y'all. Just a second. All right, we good. Yes. The sixth house has some enemies in it too, but the seventh house is open enemies. The 12th house is, yeah, the 12th house is hidden enemies, and where the 12th house is also where you're your own enemy. It's your self undoing. No, I don't think your Mars is coming too strong. I think his Leo likes that. I think his Venus likes that. Yes, seventh is partners, is legal situations. The 10th is and the 9th and 10th are government and administration, depending on how you look at it from a Western or Vedic standpoint. The 4th is family, but the 4th, like just like the 8th is not the only place of death. The final resting place is the 4th house. The 8th house is the transformation, you know, the intense transformational process. The 7th house is also where you die. So yeah. As I said before, you're looking at one of them ones who understands. I'm one of them ones. In a way, but I think the sign is influential. Like for me, I have Aries in I would also say, like, with my moon and Aquarius in the 6th house, a lot of the times the people that I support at first end up being enemies of mine, or vice versa. The people that start out as my enemy end up being people that I support. Thank you, Brianna Sini. Double A, you said, can we look at a planet aspect to a house cusp? But no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that. Now, the 4th house cusp is different. That's the IC. Because if something is aspect in your IC, it's also an aspect in your midheaven. I want you to understand that. Because of that polarity, if something is aspect in your IC, the 4th house cusp. Now, those angles, that's different. You said the house cusp. Now, the angles are different. When it's the cusp of the 3rd and 4th house, that's an angle. The 12th and 1st house, that's an angle. The 6th and 7th house, that's an angle. The 9th and 10th house, that's an angle. And so something aspect in those angles in your chart, whether it be something aspect in the descendant or the IC, that means it's also aspect in the other angles, and it's at least aspect in its polarity. So if something is aspect in the IC, then it's also simultaneously aspect in the midheaven. If something is aspect in the descendant or the 6th, 7th house cusp, it's also simultaneously aspect in the ascendant. So yeah. That's what it was, cuz. I'm still here for any more questions y'all may have. Keep them coming. What do I think of Pluto in the 4th house opposite Saturn in the 10th house? I think if you want to succeed, you got to get off that focus of your family. Sometimes you have to differentiate, you have to get a good separation and balance between your public and your private life. But you also have to, get rid of certain toxic ties that you have. And there are certain things that you've developed as far as coping mechanisms that involved your emotions that you really have to deal with in order for you to mature and come into yourself as you grow and as you go through this process of searching for success. You feel me? That's the process I see with that. Hey, somebody post my email. I can't really type it right here. If any of y'all other admins are here, post my email for me. I might can do it over here. Hold on, let me see. I answer emails all day long. I never miss an email. Then I can, from there, give you another way to contact me. Ooh, my side of my head look long in the bitch while I'm looking at that phone. Let me quit that. Damn, I put the wrong one. Here, my bad. Damn, it's not letting me fucking do it. There it is. Thank you, Cherie. Damn, my head look long on there. I need to stop turning my head that way, cuz. There we go. My bad, y'all. That shit was crazy. Oh, when she move over here? Oh, let me quit. I mean, I will give you my social media. I don't know about just call me. Maybe we could set up a time to have a conversation on the phone. You can't just call me at any times. I have to be respectful of my family, but I do have my phone number. What's my opinion on the vertex? I actually have done a whole Wednesday session on the vertex before, or I think it was a Thursday session where I talked about the vertex. No. The vertex is like the dark matter of you. It's there. You don't really understand it. It's a part of you. And the vertex is going to either fall in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th house, right? And the vertex is a karmic point in your chart. It's very much an energy that is yours, but you don't express it naturally. Now, the anti-vertex is what you express naturally. That's the opposite of your vertex. So for you to really get an understanding of your vertex, you have to understand your anti-vertex. Now, like I said, it's like the dark matter. It's the parts of you that are unrecognized. And so with the vertex, they get triggered or it gets activated by conjunctions, whether it's through synastry with somebody else's planets coming into a direct conjunction with your vertex, or an event in your life, or someone coming in and there being this energetic significance that's created when their energy comes into a direct contact with your vertex, and it kind of activates something in you. Like for me, I have my vertex at 25 degrees of Taurus in my 8th house. So my vertex is conjunct the fixed star Algol. Now, here's the thing. It took me a lot to realize that I am the bag. Like I was dependent on other people, and I also was into toxic ways of making money with my anti-vertex and Scorpio in the 2nd house. Like I was hustling. I was using people. I had ulterior motives in every situation. But once I was able to really start doing my own thing, and I realized I was a resource of myself. I have so many gifts. I'm so naturally talented. I am the bag. It cut a lot of those toxic ties. Now, also with my vertex on there in the 8th house in Taurus, when I've encountered death is when I've been the calmest. When I've had chaos in my life, that's when I'm the calmest. Like I'm good in most situations, but for some reason I worry about something. But then when I'm confronted with the chaos, or I'm confronted with the crisis, that's when I'm the coolest head in the jam. And it just me realizing and learning how to be self-sufficient, because I've had to be. And me realizing how strong of an asset I am in myself and of myself. And realizing that I don't need any interactions with other people, and I don't need to be dependent on anybody else or using anybody else for something, because I am everything I need right here with me. And that's an intimate experience. And ultimately a transformative process in that. So yeah, all of that shit right there. The vertex. Scorpio descendant. What are they like to other people? Solid. They have a calming presence, but they themselves are, they want passion. They themselves are very possessive. Scorpio descendant people are that, you know, they, if they're with you and they in a relationship with you, they want to be able to control that situation. They want to I don't want to say own you, but they want to possess you. They want to have you be theirs. So they're the type of people that looks at somebody like, that's mine. That's mine. So they can be very possessive and even jealous sometimes. But they do want deep connections. And ultimately, they're a solid person. They could even be the type of person who's to create a dependence, whether it's financially or in some other way. They would much rather a person be dependent on them, because that means that that person is it needs them, and that person is theirs, and they have them. That's not somebody that just wants to experience you. That's somebody who wants to keep you. Yeah. It's not just have you, it's also experience and enjoy you and keep you. Very sexual people also. I don't think you heard me though. Absolutely. 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 That does make sense, Brianna. Grief is a motherfucker, baby. I can dig. What do I think about Rahu transiting the 8th house? I just had Rahu transiting my 8th house. Rahu is still transiting my 8th house right now. It's a motherfucker. I've been having to confront my fear of death. And I've had some health issues come up. So yeah, Rahu transiting the 8th house in the sign is, you know, it's gonna create some changes in your life. Some shit you have to confront. That's what's up, Brianna. Libra rising is a very complex placement. No matter how much they try to sugarcoat it, Libra rising is so complex. Yeah, Taurus energy is very bullish, sensual, and I have never seen a lot of aggression, but I have seen purpose. Like, I mean, or deliberate. They're very deliberate or purposeful in the way that they move and address things. And there's nothing wrong with moving purposefully. Not at all. Yeah. Any more questions? We still here. We got 50 more minutes. Let's make it count. Good Lord. You're a Taurus Mars and you be laying that pipe on God. I'm a Capricorn Mars and I lay it even better, fam. I'm exalted. I'm Mars in a Tuta Ashado. I'm undefeated. That's the truth. Capricorn has stamina. There's a reason Mars is exalted there. I put in work. I'm never lazy. I strive to be the best. You see, you notice that people with Mars and Gemini are usually bisexual or make them question their sexuality. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Mars in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini and Venus in Aquarius, especially, like, that's where you start to see people who are more sexually fluid. And we don't mind that. You know, we're worried about your spirituality, not your sexuality around here. It's all a possibility. It's all a possibility. I appreciate you, Jenny. Keep it sweet and sweet. What's up, Oscar? Oscar is one of the originals. Oscar GSD. Been around since I've been around. Yes, I think the Fortuna or part of fortune has a merit to it. Matter of fact, the sun is conjunct my part of fortune today. My part, well, it's 2 degrees off. My part of fortune is 2 degrees Gemini. I mean, now 20 degrees Gemini in my 9th house. And look what I do. Yes. The lot of spirit has merit to it also. The opposite calculation for the part of fortune is the part of spirit or the lot of spirit. And that tells you what's best for you spiritually. Where the part of fortune tells you what's best for you materially. How can you use your energy in order for you to make the most of it financially, or to get the most out of your experience here on this plane. You could be doing all types of stuff with it being in the 8th house. The 8th house isn't just sex, even though you could get into something in that field. The 8th house is also working with other people's money, working in finance. It's also the occult, or helping people make changes in their life. There's all types of advisor roles or consultant roles that go in there. Did you say moon in gesture? People with moon in gesture are driven. You know, when you have your moon in gesture nakshatra, you have a drive and a desire in you to get something or to become something in your life, and you're gonna consequently do a lot of stuff to impress people. You're an impressive person naturally, but you're also gonna do stuff to impress people. And you hide a lot of stuff about yourself too, though. You care about what people think about you. You care about what people think about you. See, I have Pluto in Swati. Yeah, your mama's probably more than just beautiful. Your mama's probably sexy. To a lot of people. Where your mama at? Where your mama at? You said, who you talking about, her? And I said, nah, her mama. She the freak. Neptune, you have a line sometimes. They're very creative, but it's not always truthful, you know. Yeah. So, oh, you know Brianna? No, I know her mama. I know your mama. Jesus loves you as well, struggler. Taurus sun in the 11th. Can you make money with friends and groups? That's the one thing. Yeah, you can, but that just means you're going to make a lot of money, period, because the 11th house is the house of gains. So when you have Taurus in the 11th and the sun is there shining light on that, you're the type of person who makes a lot of money. Because here's the thing with the people you know. A lot of the times people have the appropriate skill set, but they don't know the right people. And you know, there's so many times you've heard it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. And so there's times where people can be in a certain tax bracket because those are the people that they know, or they can be accustomed to a certain lifestyle because that's what they know. And so they are afforded opportunities to make more money doing things that other people can't because of who they know. But yeah. I need to know the right people. I ain't met them yet. I always be like, man, I've actually seen though that there has been certain people that I've come into contact with, like one of my clients and one of my students who, you know, has changed my whole financial outlook. The same thing with my sister, Joelle, Queen Machete. She has put me into a place financially where I deal with more people who have more money to be able to pay for my services. And so once you're around people that can afford it, you can charge more. No matter what your work is worth, if you go build a sushi place in the hood, there's not a great chance that that's going to be a successful business. So yeah. What does Venus in Gemini mean in the 12th? You ain't shit. You a hoe and you know it. No, I'm just playing. You get interested in too many things all the time. Like you get so interested in everything. Like you get so, you know, it's nothing for you to be interested in, pique your interest, but you don't need to entertain everything. You feel me? What's up, Cindy Espino in Chihuahua, Mexico? Feliz cumpleaños. Hold on, let me send this text. The sun in Atura Pugani is good. The sun rules Atura Pugani. It's ruled by the sun god, and it brings ambition. You just like with that other one, you have very ambitious placements. It brings more than anything else. The sun in Atura Pugani brings ambition. It brings confidence, competence, and ambition. It's Leo Virgo. And it's very auspicious, really, now that I think about it. The sun in the Atura Pugani is very auspicious. It's very lucky. It's very blessed. Almost as much as MAGA. Gemini in the 12th hit the same with no planets? Probably not. You have Gemini in the 12th, so you just be skimming things, and sometimes you don't really know the full brunt of every situation, or you might be involved in some messiness because you only got one side of the situation, or you only got one side of the story, or you only paid attention to a little bit of it. But that's really just the thing with Gemini in the 12th there. So yeah, there's that. Sun in Barani, part 1. What do I think? Very creative, very like a very cool person. A lot of people fuck with you. A lot of Barani is symbolized by that yoni, and so like there's a lot of, and you're sexual and all that stuff that comes with Barani. Neptune conjunct Uranus, having a hard time understanding since one of them is about delusions, another is about sudden changes or realizations. You do have sudden realizations with Neptune and Uranus conjunct to each other, and at the same time, you have this belief that that things are just gonna play out how they're supposed to, and that's kind of naive sometimes. You have a hand in how things are, and unexpected things happen to you, but you don't always know what to make of them. But you need to just get rid of the best thing you can do with Uranus conjunct Neptune is get rid of expectations about what life is presenting to you and take everything as an experience, and then you do experience the mystic and you do experience wondrous things in your life, and but you also aren't so confused by them because you expected it to be something that it wasn't. 29-degree Aries moon in the 6th. You got an attitude. You're very active though, but you kind of got an attitude. And you got to be careful. Remember, your attitude affects your latitude. But you're a very active person. What does it mean if someone has Virgo moon in the 4th? I mean, it can mean a lot of different things. I would say that they themselves come from a family that, they had a lot of chores and they had a sense of duty, and they're the type of people who want to, make sure that their household is taken care of, and they're the type of people that are always willing to be there, and they're somebody who's dependable for you, and they're consistent, but at the same time, they're not really emotional. They're sensitive, they're analytical, they're helpful, they really do care, but they show it in a way that isn't necessarily like holding your hand or giving you hugs. It's by helping you out. I can't link it. I'm playing through another. They're not linked like that. I can't do that. And I own that. And it's just a remix of the UNLV beat. You can find that beat anywhere. Type in UNLV beat. North Node conjunct Juno. With the North Node conjunct Juno, I mean, you need to get. I mean, that's just really meaning like you need to get involved with somebody that can help you in your life. Not somebody who feels comfortable. Somebody who can help you grow. So yeah. You got Juno in the 12th. You need to help yourself spiritually. But Juno is what you need. Juno is your soulmate, but it's also what you need. It's what's good for you. So you going towards your North Node with North Node conjunct Juno, you working on whatever you need to work on, you going towards your North Node is what's good for you. And you need to, if you're looking for that in a person, you need to be with somebody who's good for you, that's going to tell you about yourself and who's going to help you be accountable and help you progress. Not somebody that you feel comfortable with that's going to give you permission to just sit and wallow in the same old bullshit. with Juno in the 12th house, you need to calm down and meditate and try to find yourself a spiritual place. And with Cancer there, you need to learn how to process your emotions, or be involved with somebody who helps you process your emotions, and somebody who you feel confident enough to open up to about how you feel. So yeah. What does North Node in Capricorn in the 8th house means? That you need to mature. You need to make changes that help you mature. That you're gonna be faced with crises where you have to take control of the situation, and where and make things that you're gonna face some deep and dark shit in your life that makes you be responsible. And you taking responsibility for yourself, and you acting maturely, and you not letting your feelings get in the way, and you're not becoming financially dependent on somebody or emotionally dependent on somebody else financially is a big deal. There's a lot that goes with that. Yeah, Juno and Cancer in the 6th house. Yeah, you're that's a big mama energy. But you also need somebody that takes care of you, and somebody that asks you if you're okay. You take care of everybody else. You need somebody that asks you, are you okay? And somebody that's gonna ask you how you feel and help you feel better. So yeah. Yeah. What part? You can't go anywhere else other than that. But you can go to the park. Hey! Junior! Sir? Make sure you're straight. Because don't nobody cook like you, and don't nobody make them feel at home like you, licious booty. Don't nobody got them cakes like you got. No, it's funny. I wouldn't though. I'm just assuming. So yeah. Juno and Capricorn in the 9th house. I don't know about relationships. Juno and Capricorn in the 9th house just more or less means you need to learn more, and you need somebody that can teach you how to be responsible as far as in a relationship. As far as for yourself personally, that's what you need is knowledge and mature wisdom. Not just information, but wisdom. Eighth South Sagittarius and Jupiter in the 9th house in Capricorn. I mean, you're a boss. You're wise. You're lucky in knowing how to administer things or administrate. You yourself have a lot of wisdom, and you know how to take control of situations, and you're wise. And I mean, with that, looking back at Sagittarius being in your eighth house, you have a broad spectrum of knowledge about a lot of different stuff that you can employ. Venus in Taurus. Oh, you're answering him. Chiron and Gemini in the eighth. That's something I recognize that I have. A lot of the way that you think needs to be addressed. You got to think that you got to realize that you think fucked up, that you was raised fucked up, that your mindset is fucked up, and you get that through talking to people and through learning stuff. And you know, in the eighth house, it could have played out sexually to where you realize that you've been kind of looking at things the wrong way the whole time. You don't have a problem with sex, but you have a problem with intimacy. So yeah. All of that. All of that. I'm falling back. We taking it there. What's up, DaY Sturgis? We splurging. What does Cancer Chiron in the second house mean? Family stuff, family values. Family values. I wouldn't look at your chart to predict death. I wouldn't try to do that. I would look at a chart in retrospect to see how it happened, but I wouldn't look at a chart to predict death. That's what I did for months last year. Don't do that. Juno and Aquarius in the 5th house, but it squares your Venus and Pluto and Scorpio because you need to let people be free and have fun. And you want it to be too serious. It squares your Venus and Pluto. You fucking so intense, and you want it to everything to mean more than it has to mean, so you don't get to enjoy it as much as you could have. So yeah. Yeah, so all of that shit. We got 20 more minutes. Let's make them count. That's 30. You said, do you like to spend a lot of money with the Taurus moon in the 8th house? Yeah, you do.
You going crazy?
You know damn well you do. You like to save money too, but you like to spend other people's money. You like to spend other people's money. If you like to spend a lot of money, but if it could be somebody else's money, that's even better. I don't know what I think cannabis would be ruled by. Mercury. Maybe Mercury. But no, I don't accept that. What's up, sci-fi fantasy girl? Spend some money on me. Y'all like to spend money, but y'all don't even spend no goddamn money with me. You need to be spending some money with me. That's what you need to do. Spend some money with your boy. Yeah, but I don't really accept that or believe that. No. But I've never even looked at what marijuana is ruled by. I don't really care for that. I don't care about that. Any significance in planets close to the midheaven? Absolutely. That's the shit that's most visible in your chart. That's the shit that's most visible. You have Saturn in Aquarius closer to the midheaven. So, I mean, you want people to view you as a good person. There's this need for recognition and this need for approval that kind of really get into it when you have Saturn in Aquarius. That can be an issue in itself. I know I have Jupiter exactly opposite my Saturn in Sagittarius in my 2nd house. And I'll be just starting to have a good time. Then I remember about a bill coming up. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like, I'll really start, I'll be like, man, I was like, damn, all your little money finna be gone.
Active by night?
I know a little bit of something about both of them. I'm sure you do. Would you like to tell us? Are you trying to compare knowledge, or are you trying to ask me a question about something you want to know? You know, Indu Lagna is based on the 9th house from the moon. And, you know, that lets you know a lot about a person's finances. As far as Aruda Lagna, let me think. Aruda Lagna is really how other people see you. Like, it's not just what you project, it's what they're seeing from your projections. You feel me? I appreciate it, sci-fi fantasy girl. It's all love. I appreciate everything that's given out of love and with the pure and genuine heart. Your Aruda Lagna is like your PR guy. So people see you as a fun person, a wise, you know, a person who is willing to gamble, and a wise and fun person, and all of that shit. Now, the third sign from your Aruda Lagna can show death. So if your Aruda Lagna is in the 5th house in Sagittarius, then you would look at Aquarius or Pisces from there. I'm trying to think. The third, no. Yeah, Pisces. You would look at Pisces from there and see death. I know a little bit, bro. I'm very well acquainted. So Aquarius is third from there. I said Aquarius first, but then I said Pisces. Who knows? I have to see the chart. I operate off Placidus, even when I'm doing Vedic, when I'm not supposed to. So I really like it to be fluid. But I also got you to expose yourself. I asked you, did you really want to know? But you really wanted to correct me. You was waiting to see if I made a mistake. It's all love. I get it. I see it. Any more questions? Let's get them out. We got 15 more minutes. It's been a lovely chill session. I should be back tomorrow or Friday. Depends on what I have going on Friday. And we'll see what happens the rest of the week. But I should come one of them days. One of them days. It's my pleasure. This is what it's for. What do I think about the moon in Aruda? I think that just makes a person really, like, they're really worried about what people think about them, and makes them image conscious and makes them insecure. Sometimes the moon is really influential there. I think you worry about what people think about you too much. KU, you said Gemini Sun, Venus in the 8th house. Or Gemini Sun and Venus in the 8th house trying Aquarius Neptune in the 4th. I mean, they go together. You was raised in a family that, you know, wanted you to be different and encouraged you to be into different things, and they didn't judge you off of off of the bullshit of what you were supposed to do. And so you were able to love and be how you want to be, and you can talk to anybody, and you're into a variety of different stuff and all of that stuff. But it's really because you came from an environment that allowed for the freedom to think differently and to move differently and to be into different stuff. And so you're the type of person who you intellectualize your interactions with people, and you get involved. You really get interested in people's mindsets, and you like to talk to different people. And there's a variety of different stuff and different people that you can find attractive. And it's because you didn't have any constraints put on you when you were younger. Moon trine series. You had the appropriate amount of nurturing, and that helps you have healthy emotional expressions. And you also yourself know how to help take care of other people. You can care, you can care to a fault sometimes. So yeah, all of that. That be right there jamming. What's up, Tandy Clarkson? You sleepy? Or I'm sleepy? I keep yawning because I'm not getting enough oxygen. It's my brain trying to wake me up. Have I gotten into Chinese astrology? Yeah, I mean, I'm not enough to practice it, but I know enough about my my sign. Enough to have knowledge of self, but not enough to teach Chinese astrology. I'm a tiger, baby. I have lots of stuff for tigers and elephants in my house. Tigers because of that, and elephants because of Atura Ashada. And me having Mars in my 4th house in Atura Ashada, I think. I just naturally have a lot of stuff with as far as elephants go. And I think elephants bring luck, especially when they're given as a gift. And so we have a lot of tiger stuff, and we have a lot of elephant stuff in our house. My wife is also a tiger. Yeah, Barani's yoni animal is an elephant. Atura Ashada and Pruva Ashada are represented by the elephant, the tusk in the back of the elephant in a way. But they're not, that's not their yoni animal. Mercury trine Lilith. You're very clever. Inquisitive and clever to a fault. Like they say, curiosity kills the cat. And so you want to know about so much, and you're interested in so much. So you really are somebody who, you know, you pay a lot of attention, but sometimes you find out stuff you didn't really think you needed to know, or, you know, it goes both ways. But you're also very clever and perceptive of things. Yeah, I know you. I know you. Yeah, I love elephants. But I could definitely see all of that. Yep, it's a dragon year this year. It's a very revolutionary year this year. Things in the world are changing drastically this year. It's like the resetting process in this. Yep. You can. I like to get stuff that has lizards of like Varuna. Varuna is like, looks like a lizard kind of. I'm Shada Bishak, but I don't go by the yoni animal, which the yoni animal is a female horse for Shada Bishak. But as far as Shada Bishak and me being Shada Bishak, I like to keep lightning bolts, lassos, lizards, reptilians. Varuna is like a reptilian. Funny that the Nalgas are also reptilians. Now, I used to have a pet snake. I caught a snake not too long ago outside. I'm not scared of snakes or reptiles at all. I'm not really scared of animals. I'm scared of rats and different types of rodents. But I'm not scared of spiders or scorpions. I had a pet scorpion for a long time. I loved my scorpion too. I had a pet snake. I catch snakes with my bare hands outside. I just don't like fucking rodents. What's up, Jen? How you doing? What's up, Sharon Crawford? You caught us at the end. We got 5 more minutes and then I'm out. We've stretched this session as long as it needs to run. Anybody else have any more questions before we go? Just let me tell you, for any of y'all interested in any astrological or numerological readings whatsoever, never get at me in these comments. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. That's mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And that's for numerology readings, which is like a 30-minute long reading of me going over your life path number, your expression or life destiny number, your soul urge or heart's desire number, your personality number, your maturity number, your balance number. Me talking about the 4 pinnacle periods of your life, the 3 life cycles that you have. Me talking about your karmic lesson numbers or even your karmic debt number if you happen to have one. Me telling you your lucky number, your signature number, your birthday number. Me telling you what personal month and year number you're in this year. All of that shit, get at me. You don't need your birth time for numerology. Get a numerology reading. Yeah, I get all the way into numerology. When it comes to astrology readings, I do. I not only do birth chart readings, and that can go in an audio recording, which is like an 1.5 to 2 hour long audio recording of me assessing your birth chart, to us being on the phone and talking with each other and us discussing where you can ask questions. I also offer that service, or us having a Zoom where we're face to face. And so all of that adds another one. If you're talking about solar return readings, I do those. Talking about synastry reading, I do those. If you're talking about a Pluto through Aquarius transit journey reading, where I assess Pluto's journey through Aquarius and all of the aspects it's going to make to your personal planets over the next 20 years, I'll do that for you. And I give specific dates on that reading. On that reading, I'm not only going to tell you what's happening, I'll tell you when it's happening. And I give specific dates and time frames over the next 20 years. So yeah, all of that. You just got to get with me. Get at me. Punarvasu is a cat. Yeah. Punarvasu is one of my favorites. My daughter has her moon in Punarvasu. And she does always come home. But she is source herself also. Well, one of my daughters is moon in Chitra. The other one is moon in Punarvasu. And we should be back sometime this week. If we won't, we will be back Monday. I appreciate everybody's love and support. This has been an awesome session. Your presence is a blessing. We in this thing like a long ding-a-ling. Ring-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Sing-a-ling. Yeah, hit me up on the email. I got you. I'll send you a price list and then we can work it out from there. Yeah, I do giveaways sometimes. Ebony's son is in Punarvasu. What is y'all laughing at? Jen? Now y'all laughing at me? I'm finna cry. Are y'all laughing at other things? Y'all laughing at the ding-a-ling. Jing-a-ling. Yeah, it is long. It is long. I touch kidney every time. I touch kidney every time. Every time. Yeah. I touch kidney. I love y'all. Hey, we finna go though. Y'all trying to make me misbehave. I'm trying to be good. No, I touch kidney every time. Every time, Licious Booty. I touch kidney every time.